And how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Land Timber Stream. It has been a while, I know, like a week. And my apologies. It's been very busy for me for a lot of different reasons, but I'm glad to have actually missed it. So glad to be back talking to the community a little bit. Hope everyone's week is going well. It is, of course, Hump Day, Wednesday, and day 472 of the journey. So many labs left to do. So we've got basically our countdown is at 68 days. Of course, that's not full days to study slash lab. There are vacation days in there. There's, of course, um, trips, all kinds of things like that. But we're grinding away as much as we can. So yeah, it's been a kind of a tough week for labbing. The last, let's see, Monday night, I think it was a stream issue, maybe. Yeah, I had an ingestion issue with Twitch, so I was getting like no bandwidth up. And then another day was it had to work. It might have been the other way around, but and then last night we had some company, so we've got company from out of town, which has been good because actually after this weekend, man, I labbed probably most of the 3 days because I had Friday off and I had Saturday, Sunday, and I was getting my butt kicked. So last night was kind of cool. Kind of took a portion of the night off and entertained guests, and we watched a movie, which was kind of cool. So good interruptions, right? Kind of took my mind off labbing for a little while, anyway. But it's been intense, quite a few hours each week. This weekend, so I'll show you my progress real quick. I've updated this chart because as I realized, and I knew this before, but I didn't kind of break it out this way, but I looked and I first saw 25, like 14 through 25. There's more than that, actually. Some of these rows are hidden. So this is with the Cisco Expert Level Bundle, and it's awesome. I mean, it's been great. I think it starts at 10 maybe, or 11, yeah. But I got through those, and I realized, there's not a troubleshooting portion for each of these CA labs. There are more TA labs than CA labs. These are actually all done. I'll go to mark it off. It'll make me feel better. So yeah, these are finished. These are done as well, and the blue is where I should be. So as you can see, I'm behind like by a weekend. But that's okay. What I've determined to do is I want to get to the end of these, and some of these can end up being reading through a workbook. So these are actually, even though it's very similar to like what a real exam will be in terms of the software and the presentation and some of the problems and some of the requirements and some of the troubleshooting. In reality, these are sort of still mini labs. And they're called workbook labs. So what's going to happen is as I get behind, and I started doing this today with TA 14, which I finished today, I'm starting to kind of read through. So, because there's a lot of material here that are covering things I've never seen before. And what I used to do is when I would hit those sections, I would try to figure it out. I'd go to the documentation and I would spin my wheels. I'd burn a lot of lab time. Let's get going on here. Oh yeah, you can sort of see my microphone here, I think. Just checking the video here, making sure. Get a little buffering maybe. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're green here. Anyway, so where I've got a gap in my. Sorry, folks. Let me just. Okay, it's not that way. It's this way. Okay. That should help. Anyway, so yeah, so what I've determined to do on these is just I'll read through them learn the new material, create flashcards, read up on that material, and move on. Again, I'm not trying to be in like extreme learning phase, although I am learning new things by looking at some of these labs. Some of these things are just wild, folks. I mean, some of these things that are brought up in these labs are just. I look at them and I'm like, that's crazy. You can't do that. uh, there's no way you can do that. I mean, in one lab, it was essentially you had to connect. Um, you had two interfaces on switches, and one interface, and each interface on each side, they were on the different subnets. So interface one is on one subnet on one side, and interface two on the other switch is in that same subnet. And then this interface up here, that's point-to-point link, it's on a different subnet, which matches the subnet that is down here on the second interface. So they don't align, but you have to make that work. Yes, there's a way to do that, I found. And I probably could have figured it out with enough time, but what I've learned battling these labs, and as I move down, these get more and more difficult, more and more advanced. So the basic stuff I'm getting through fast, like my speed is increasing, but I'm hitting more and more of these very obscure, unusual configurations, and I'm having to take my time to sort of learn those. So as I go through, what I'll do is just sort of read through, because what's really going to be important is down here, which are these assessment labs. The jury's still out on when I'm going to do those, because I've got these. The first one is all the way in September. I mean, it's like a month away. That's definitely going to have to change. I think what I may do is when I get about halfway through these CAs, I'll do my first assessment lab. Because that'll help sort of guide me, where I need to go. Yes, and I am still planning to do the I&E labs as well when I can. So there's just so many labs to do, so little time. Yeah, CA15 was hard. It was a lab that took me part of all 3 days to get through, and it was extremely difficult. This CA16 that I'm working on now is not so hard so far. But yeah, I got a suggestion too from someone who's kind of mentored me along the way. He got a CCIE a while back, Philip Parr, and he sort of gave me privately a recommendation on even another potential resource that I could purchase. A legit, I've heard other CCIEs aside from him also mention it. So if I do decide to go that way, I'll let you all know. I am considering it. It's not like I don't have enough labs to do prior to October 14th. But it's always good to get a mix when you can, to sort of throw different things, different styles at you. So anyway, more potentially coming up on that. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Sorry, I know it's been a while. So busy. I mean, my head's down, labbing, and I'm not going completely dark on social media, but I go a little gray. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I do have a change tonight here in a little while, but if all goes well, I should be back here tomorrow night, and hopefully get back into more of the routine on the vlog and giving you updates. So thanks so much for hanging out. Some good conversations in Discord. I tried to respond to some of those today. And we shall see you back here soon, here in Land Timber Stream. Oh, here's on that topic. If more content in the service provider labs, cherry pick the text out from there on the I&E ones. Yeah, I am focused on CCIE routing and switching. So that's what I'm going for. This countdown that you see here, days 472, I've been counting up towards that topic, and I have 68 days to go the route switch. There is some overlap, sure. MPLS and things like that. But yeah, VRF configurations. Yeah, I know people would like to have more service provider content out there too, as well. Fortunately for those of us in route switch track, there seems to be a lot more stuff available than the other tracks. Service provider even has more than what like security has, but of course all that's changing, right? All the rich set of tools that we have for IE route switch are all going to be obsolete by February. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for hanging out in the stream and the chat. Appreciate it. And we'll come back here tomorrow. Let's see what else we can talk about. If you're not on Discord yet, we do have a service provider channel in the Discord server. We've got some real good service provider people in Discord too, who can you can exchange ideas with. So good stuff. Thanks so much, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Sending you good bits through the universe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Have a great night.